yesterday, Monty Williams kind of took a shot at Dwane Casey. He basically was, asked about players playing through mistakes, and he says he thinks players being able or being allowed to play through mistakes have played the NBA for a long time. He basically said, just because you sit a guy down doesn't mean, he got to stay on the bench. You explain what he did wrong, then you might let him go back in the game. But he says the NBA allowing players to continue to play and learn through mistakes is something that, has plagued the league for a long time, in his opinion. And, I think some of that got to do with a lot of these coaches know that the players are on the top pecking order when it comes to that. They're at the top of the pecking order. You know what I'm saying? They're at the top of the pecking order. And for the most part, when the children run the establishment, when they run the household, what you see a lot of today, the parents can't say nothing. The parents legitimately can't say anything. So it's the same thing in a locker room. If you pull a player to the side, you criticize them, what do you get? You get what you got in Phoenix. Where DeAndre Ayton is sitting there going crazy and crying and complaining because he feel like he above the law. He feel like he's above the law. And that's common in today's parenting household. The coaches can't say nothing to the kids. The mama can't say nothing to the kid. The daddy not being able to say nothing to the kids. And it's wicked out here. And that translates onto the court. So that's why you allow a lot of players to play through mistakes. Because I can't say nothing to you. You can't say you do nothing wrong because they can't take criticism. And like I said it before and I say it again, I had to learn to take criticism. I had to learn to take tough love and not get mad and shut down. Getting emotional because somebody give constructive criticism is a feminine trait. Huffing and puffing and wanting to talk back to somebody who got your best interest is a feminine trait. And what they call it today, the kids, he hating on me, he hating on me. And when you get older and you mature and you realize they was trying to help you, then you feel a little stupid about it. But today's kids, you can't say nothing to them. This is why I don't know how coaches coach. You got to deal with the parents. The parents more involved in extracurricular activities and football and basketball more than they're involved in the classroom, and they wonder why their kids don't do well in the classroom. So there's a science to why he's saying that. There's a science to that. And one of the major reasons that's an issue is because the players are above the coaches, and they willing to fire the coach because the coach in most cases makes significantly less than getting rid of the players. It's a player-driven league. And like I said, when the NFL is an owners-driven league, the NBA is a players-driven league. Both have their pros and their cons. No matter what you do, when you make a decision, you should think before you make a decision. Even if you got to get on a whiteboard, a piece of paper, and do compare and contrast. You got a tough decision to make. I don't know what college I want to go to. Do a compare and contrast board. And don't just do some shit where you just, throwing it together. Think about it. And I always like to use this rule of thumb now that I got older. Before you make an irrational decision based on emotion, because men, we based on logic. But a lot of guys, it's different, been raised by women or a little bit more emotional. Estrogen level might be a little bit higher. With all the bullshit that's going on in the food. But hear me out. Sleep on it. Sleep on it for a day or two. And if you still want to make that decision, or you still want to execute that plan, okay, at least you thought about it. At least a 10-minute or a 5-second or 5-minute emotional outburst didn't cost you your life. Didn't cost you 10, 20 years. Think about it. When somebody give you constructive criticism, like, you know what, man, you should get better with your left hand and work on finish your left hand. Oh, nigga, he hating on me. He hating. It ain't hate. Think about before, and like, do I need to get better? But a lot of people can't be real with themselves. So you can't keep it real with your significant other, your brother, your sister, your homeboy. You can't keep it real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You know, women keep turning you down, like, okay, like, what's wrong with me? You know, should I brush my teeth, comb my beard, lose some weight, get in the weight room? You know what I'm saying? What can I do to improve myself and improve my chances? If I'm not starting, okay, what is it? What am I not doing? Do I need to pass the ball better? Do I need to get better as a player? Do I need to work on my game? Whatever it is. What do I need to do? Be honest. Because everybody's saying the same thing, and a lot of these people don't know each other, then in a lot of cases it must be true. So what the premise of him saying that, I'm telling you what the premise of it is. When him saying that this is plaguing the league where you can't, you can't let now the norm is letting these kids play through mistakes. That's the norm. Okay, that's what he's saying is the new norm, is allowing these kids to play through mistakes. The reason why is because you can't say nothing to them or you'll lose your job. They can't take criticism. You see it all the time in the school system and coaching, and the parents, oh, we could just switch teams, or you just hating on my son. It just, man, that's the thing about having kids young. You got kids raising kids. And our society is headed for hell. It's headed for hell. It don't seem like it's no relief it's no relief in sight. But that's basically what Monty's saying. And Dwane Casey allowed for them to play through mistakes, and where did it get them? Nowhere. You keep making the same mistake over and over again, like he said, you got to come sit your ass on this bench. Excuse my language. You got to come sit on this bench. You got to. And that's flat out. Can't keep allowing guys to make the same mistake over and over and over again. And hopefully he got it quickly. And that don't necessarily mean you got to glue him at the end of the bench. Hey, let me talk to you for a minute, then go back in there. Then we can go back, and then you can go back and do your thing. But yeah, that's allowing your kid to say, okay, I'm not going to discipline you. You keep getting suspended for fighting, then you don't ever come up with no solution. And he get in real trouble for fighting at school, real trouble. Now you want to get a solution, it's too late. An isolated incident that became a habit. An isolated incident that became a habit. When you could have nipped it in the bud and got rid of a bad habit. And all that stemmed from parents, the parenting of the day, bro. Today's parenting is trash. And what's so funny is they so soft on these kids today. They so covered, they so nurturing, and they so overbearing and all these other words. Overprotective, and they want to censor everything that they watch. And these kids worse than ever, bro. I was at Cedar Point Saturday, and these teenage girls was cussing up a storm when I was in line. I know it was bad, but these kids is bad with no remorse. They bad and feeble. We was bad and independent. We had been staying at the house by ourselves. I had been staying alone since I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I was like one of them last generations where, that happened to. Your mama leave a note. When you get home from school, I have to get home from school. Make sure you do this, that, and the third. Call me when you're done before you go out of school. And there wasn't no text messages and stuff. But these kids are so protected. It's crazy. They expose them more. And this is why you can't coach the way you want to coach. It's the reason why they letting these players make the same mistakes and not say, because you can't say nothing to them. Then they get an attitude. Then they don't want to speak no more. Then y'all beefing. Then you out of a fucking job. Monty got hella security. He made more than any other player on the Pistons. So now I can pull your ass, trade your ass, do what we need to do. Do what we need to do. So I should just park on this side. I gotta walk back down this way. But yeah, now he got some type of power. But I always like to give y'all the reason why, not just to read what he's saying and mumble jumble over stuff. I try to give y'all some education back. That's what I like about channels that I listen to. I want to learn something. You know, I want to learn. And if I'm not learning nothing while watching your channel, you know, really I'm at the point where I don't even want to watch it. You know, entertainment purposes is good, but you can entertain and teach at the same time. So check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.